Hey gang, it's JC and this is your daily dose for Friday, May 28th, 2010, a cooperative venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. Archives anytime you want to punch around on the menu tab up there at the top of the page. Also, we have stuff at the bottom of the page, and we're going to be adding new things. We're going to be podcasting very, very soon. You're going to be able to listen to old classic show segments and old radio shows, and also we'll probably be doing some new stuff in the foreseeable future. It was 26 years ago this week that I arrived in St. Louis. We are not on the air. We are off the air until March of next year unless something unforeseen takes place. But we're here every day, Monday through Friday on the Daily Dose here at jc'sdailydose.com. Cardinals burst out of their slump last night in San Diego. Let's hope they can keep that going. By the same token, the game ended about 9 o'clock St. Louis time last night, which means that they probably couldn't have gotten to the airport until about 11:30. You fly into Chicago, you get in about 3:30 in the morning. Now it's 90 minutes to the hotel before you can get checked in and get to bed. You can't fall asleep immediately. It's 5 o'clock in the morning now, and they have to be at the ballpark at 10. I'm sure they're going to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at Wrigley this afternoon. And tomorrow, Saturday, the Fox game, Cardinals are going to be facing that Cubs pitcher who is 6-0. Let's see what happens. Speaking of alleged sports, Peter Kinder, the lieutenant governor of the state of Missouri, officially now does not have his stupid bicycle race. Let me tell you about that race. You know, there's two groups of people who cared about Peter Kinder's bicycle race: the people in the race and the relatives of the people who were in the race. And everybody else was like, what are you talking about? We got budget cuts and layoffs and a rotten economy. You want $1 million out of the state of Missouri so people can drive around the state on their bicycles? Screw you, Peter. I don't even want to guess why ketchup is up 10% since last year. The Heinz people reported yesterday their profits are up 10% from this time last year. My mind is just running wild on that one. And also to show you that the distance between the haves and the have-nots has gotten a lot wider in the last few years. Tiffany's almost doubled their profit from this time last year. All right, let's do the final word here on American Idol, and I think this is probably it. It turns out that Crystal, who should have won, by the way, broke up with her boyfriend right before the show. She says, look, I want this music career, and he's just a small-town guy, and this isn't going to work. So she's on the open market. David Cook, by the way, was one of the guys who didn't show up for the big reunion of sorts near the end of the show. He, it turns out, was doing a cancer charity in Kansas City, so we'll let him off the hook for that. Daughtry was also in Kansas City. He didn't show up. He was doing a gig there. The big question mark was Adam Lambert, and somebody asked him, how come you weren't there? And he said, I wasn't invited. They invited me to sit in the audience, but I declined, so I don't know what's going on there. By the way, Lee DeWise, the winner, and Crystal Bowersox, the runner-up, will be on Larry King Live tonight on CNN. All right, we're just sort of scouring the globe for news stories from time to time. It turns out 9 workers at a factory in China that assembles iPhones, 9 of those workers at that factory have committed suicide so far this year. Isn't there a Don't Jump app? What else we got here? Todd Palin and his buddies built a 14-foot high fence so that the journalist who moved in next door to Sarah Palin can't see them in their yard. That's the first time a Palin actually finished a job. Oceanside, New York. This is one of my favorite stories. The guy's hurt, but it's still funny. There's a guy lying on the beach, face down, listening to his iPod. And along comes some sort of beach patrol or something, the police, because they heard that a surfer was hurt or drowning or something like that. So the guy in the SUV is hauling ass across the beach. He doesn't see the guy laying face down on the beach in Oceanside, New York. I love the description of the guy's injuries: a fractured spine, a broken rib, and tire tracks across his back. All right, we have Sex and the City opening today. I guess there were some midnight showings on Thursday night. The gay men writing movies about women. This whole thing is one notch from being the Golden Girls at this point. They all call it Fright Club. All right, let's talk about holidays. We've got the Memorial Day weekend kicking off here. We talked about this on the show a couple of times, I think. And you start listing all the major holidays, and you start thinking to yourself, well, which of our major holidays really is the best of all? You start with Christmas, and you figure, no, there's too much stress, and everything is focused on sales, and nobody even really cares about what Christmas is really supposed to be about anymore once in a while. You got Father's Day and Mother's Day, and that's usually a joke. New Year's, unless you're a fan of college football or hangovers, New Year's Day doesn't really do you any good. Labor Day, well, that's the end of summer, and that is absolutely not something to celebrate. Labor Day puts me in a bad mood, and it reminds me of having to go back to school when I was a little kid, and I hated that. You got Valentine's Day, that's just, the advertising community running wild. President's Day, get serious, mattress sales. St. Patrick's Day, well, that's not bad, particularly if you're a fan of public urination. And then you got your Memorial Day, which is not bad. A lot of times, it looks like the weather is going to be decent for this Memorial Day, but a lot of times, we've had some terrible Memorial Day weekends. We had a bad one last year. And also, it is about dead soldiers, so that's, it's not really celebratory. And then you got Thanksgiving, and that's sort of fun. I like turkey, but it sort of starts that insanity of the whole Christmas season. And then you go to what I think is the best holiday of all, and it's really it's not that far away now, and that's 4th of July. Come on, what better holiday is there than 4th of July? Although I will say this, here in St. Louis, we have an additional holiday that most other cities don't have, and it's almost as good as the best holiday, which is 4th of July, and that's opening day, which is sort of a de facto holiday here in St. Louis. All right, JC's eye candy, going back to American Idol, there's some people in this world who have things a little bit out of proportion, a little bit out of whack, and every year YouTube seems to clog up with a bunch of videos that people secretly take of their family and friends and relatives and stuff like that, reacting to the winner of American Idol. Particularly, it's funniest when the person who wins is not the person that the person's being videotaped is cheering for. This one, I think, is the best one I've ever seen. This woman is so ramped up in the results of American Idol, she does not know she's being videotaped. It is freaking hilarious. That is JC's eye candy today. JC's Video Village, we're going back to 1998 for me and no facial hair. You almost never see that. In a report on Channel 4's 5 o'clock news, you'll also see somebody who you probably forgot about who used to do the news on Channel 4, Miriam Wright, along with Julius Hunter. JC's Wayback Machine for the final day is back to 1997, and some video of Trish Brown doing the weather. And this thing on her head, you just wonder, it almost looks like something they would do on Saturday Night Live, but this is what Trish's hair actually looked like at one point in time. Not necessarily the news, final day for that one too. Now we're off on Monday because of the holiday, and on Tuesday we have a new Daily Dose for you, also a new Wayback Machine, and that's going to be Jennifer Blome doing the news back in 1986. What do you see what she looks like? Also, we have a new Video Village, and it's an old interview we did in the mid-1980s with Ozzy Osbourne, who you could still understand at that time, and he was in town, and we talked to him after a concert. It's actually fairly interesting. And also, we'll have a brand new Not Necessarily the News. So that's it. Have a great Memorial Day holiday. We'll be off, as we said, on Monday. Back with you on Tuesday. That's JC's Daily Dose for Friday, May 28th, 2010. A cooperative venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.